All right, people, welcome to our live training tonight. And we are actually doing prototyping for Lovable. And if you want to go ahead and actually join in on the fun with us, I would highly suggest you guys go ahead and actually do the following. So tonight, before I go ahead and actually do the actual live demo, if anybody here, and I mean it, this time is actually yours, right? If anybody here wants to go ahead, tell me about it, CJ. If anybody here has a job description other than Jeff that they want to go ahead and pop in, this is actually so much more fun than I give you guys like just something that's like well give me the actual job description, man. If you guys can actually give me like an actual real job description, I can make this thing so much more interactive. So if you guys want to go ahead and actually vibe code along with me, I recommend that you guys actually have a few tools to come out here and play. For starters, give me a second here. I'm going to copy this link. You guys are going to go ahead and absolutely need this thing called GenSpark. And GenSpark is not currently paying me to endorse them yet, but I am manifesting a check from these guys. And it allows me to go out there and voice prompt. And I think you guys are going to find that voice prompting is just so much more impactful than just doing regular typing. On average, right now, I'm popping in about 70,000 words. And you're gonna get a better result if you're prompting in like more details into the message, right? So you really, really, really want to make sure that you're getting all the information in there. So you're gonna want GenSpark. Number two thing that you want to go ahead and do is you probably want to go ahead and actually pop open Gemini. And then the third thing that you're gonna want is you're gonna want Claude. The fourth thing that you guys are gonna want to pop open is going to be your Lovable. And then if you guys really want to go ahead and just add a little bit of extra something something to it, give me a quick second here. You guys might want to go ahead and pop open a Google Doc. And I'll tell you exactly why we're doing everything in the order that we're doing it in. The first thing here is you're probably doing this for one of two reasons. You want to level up on the job or you want to go ahead and get a better job, right? And that's effectively speaking what we do here as a business. We're happy to help you level that skill up. But in order for us to go ahead and do so, well, we got to actually get like an actual really good prompt out. So Gemini here, Google Doc here is really good for actually getting your prompt. And this is actually why you guys want to go ahead and sign up for the newsletter because I'm going to be giving you guys all these resources and then some. I'm going to be showing you what I did for a student of ours actively in the program right now, first and foremost, and then I'm going to actually do it for you guys live here, freestyle. Other than Taufik that I have actually gotten a chance to talk to because he's been on our email list since 2021. I don't know most of the people here, so like this is not like pre-planned or anything. If you guys really want to find out, go out there and say me, use my job description. So we're gonna have Google Doc as we're gonna get the full prompt out. From here, we're gonna go ahead and go into Google and we're actually gonna refine the prompt over the prompt over the prompt. Once we actually have the prompt, we are gonna go ahead and pop the prompt into Claude. Once we actually have the prompt into Claude, then we have the actual lovable prototype. And then from the lovable prototype, then we can go out there and agentify it. And I'm going to walk you guys through this thing from start to finish, from the very beginning, to get a better understanding of why we're doing all of this. For starters, right now, is we have a position like a compliance product manager for safety. And we have this job description. One of the students that's enrolled in our program right now is keen to go out there and actually take down this job. But here's the problem. Other than the fact that he is a fan of Roblox, he doesn't really have that much product management experience because they're looking for somebody with 5 years of experience. And then he also doesn't have the safety experience part. So what we're trying to do right now is we are effectively trying to compensate experience right now that he does not have. And immediately we can go out there and actually have two options from the very get-go. we can actually, number one, just give up and say like, well, I guess I gotta wait an extra 2 years. Like, who the fuck wants to do that, right? We can say like, oh, you know what? I guess I'm just not qualified for it. No, what we want to go ahead and do is we want to demonstrate our qualifications for the job, number one, with enthusiasm, and then number two, with also a portfolio. But we want to come in here with a loaded portfolio because it's like a $227,000 to $289,000 job. So we want it. Now, for the people that doubt whether or not this methodology can actually go ahead and work, I promise you, come to our YouTube channel and you will go ahead and actually see like we just helped this gentleman here land the head of digital product management. This was actually a testimonial we launched about 2 weeks ago. Um, Finance to fintech product management, Capital One 90 days. Sales to product management, 17 plus interviews in a week, 250% pay bump, multiple offers within 6 weeks. This even helped out a gentleman land a product manager job over here, even though he's on an H1 visa. And this also helped another gentleman land a product manager job, even though he's in the UK. If you think the US market is bad, wait till you get to England. It is even worse there. This helped this gentleman here bag a product manager job within 4 months. I'm telling you all of this, and even somebody transitioning from finance over to AWS, because number one, I want you to flex our program. So you're going to schedule a call and enroll. But number two is I want to open up your eyes to what it is actually possible. The first thing is if you're thinking that like if you're looking at a job description like this, oh yeah, and then before I get back to that, we helped somebody land an Amazon product manager job, even though they're on an H-1B visa, and this was actually popped out 4 months ago. So if you're looking at a job description like this and you're thinking like, man, I would love to work at Roblox, but I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this. I mean, get that freaking mindset out of here, right? Because your life is too short to be waiting around. So I want to actually impart um, two inspirational stories because product management, like you're going up in a fight, I think it's very mental. And this is actually the big difference between I see like the New York mindset and sometimes the West Coast product management mindset. And I'm like, yo, if there's a guy that used ChatGPT to fucking find a cancer vaccine for his dog without a medical background. And the GitLab founder, even though he's got like a shit ton of money, he had bone cancer and no trials would take him. The guy went on total founder mode and basically chat GPT'd his way into survival. So like there ain't no fucking excuse that you can't take this job. You 100% can take this job. And if for all my American homies out there that are watching this right now, I don't even want to hear it because compared to the people that's on a H1, you def have no fucking excuses. Y'all wilding right now. Like Taufik, you too comfortable, man. It's like, oh yeah, dude, I'll hit these guys up. Like, no, if you're like I'm really amazed by the people that enroll in our program on an H1 and they got 60 days to get a hot job or they got to get out. It is amazing what people can do when they lock in for 60 days, right? So I think the first things first is like the mindset. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is for starters, we're going to start off our prompt in Google. Why? You don't want to waste Gemini. You don't want to go ahead and waste your credit on Claude, and you definitely don't want to blow your load on Lovable. Lovable is not the platform that you do your brainstorming on. That is strong, strong, strong. No, no. Okay. You don't want to go ahead and do that. Don't do that. It's not helping out your situation. So we want to get all of our information into here, and I'll actually show you guys like the full prompt. So we have the job description. I went to Gemini right here. And I basically, I want you to help me draft the prompt that I can directly copy and paste into Cloud. I'm applying to a product manager job right now, and I'm going to enter the job description here. Are the outcomes I'm looking for based on the job description? I'm a new graduate from Georgia Tech with no product management professional work experience. I want to know how to impress the hiring team. This is for a gaming company named Roblox, and I'm a big fan of the brand. I need you to identify based on the job description 3 side projects that I can immediately copy and paste as prompts in either Claude or Lovable to flex my AI competency during the interview. I also want to record a short YouTube video walking the hiring team and anybody else who cares to watch my YouTube, excuse me, through the entire like 0 to 1 process, how to deliver this product. Give me some examples like a PRD, requirements doc, a prototype, or a stakeholder map, and also tell me what you think I'm missing because my intention is to get 3 to 5 prompts that I can immediately copy and paste into Claude and into Lovable to go out there and flex on this interview. If you're gonna go on the job interview, right? You gotta can you go out there and actually sign up for the newsletter because there's a maximum word count on Zoom. I actually can't put the whole thing in there, but I will send all of this out in the newsletter tonight when the video's done processing, right? But we're not even done yet. So this is actually a raw prompt. So this is a high stakes, get shit done, your grad. So we have this master prompt right here for starters. But there's also a few things, and this is why voice prompting is so important. One of the pivotal reasons why people have very shitty outcomes in AI is because they don't get really good results. They don't get really good results because you're not feeding the machine all of the information. You can only really do so if you're prompting the guy. And I don't know any other way that we can get this thing done faster, shy of telepathy, other than voice prompting. Okay. So, like, and you'll always forget shit. So, this is why you want to do all the prompting in Gemini, right? And this is also why you want to, before you even come out here, you want to get all this shit onto a Google Doc, which I'll demo in a quick second. Now, I also forgot to mention this homie has a computer science degree. That's actually very relevant to making this transition. So, okay, so now we've added that in there. Is that also go ahead and add into this prompt? I completely forgot to add the missing piece that you addressed. I 100%. You always want to go ahead and add this. What am I missing in my prompt? What am I missing in my prompt? Because you need to have a thorough communication with the machine, right? With Gemini, because you're saying all this. So if I'm saying right now, I want to go ahead and create like 100 really high quality Instagram memes, you got to let the machine know, well, what's your intention? We want to go out there and book more calls with Instagram so we can go out there and enroll more people and make more money as a business. And you know what the machine actually told me? Rich, you're not going to book calls on Instagram. If you want to go out there and book calls for a high ticket product management course, you got to do it. There's only going to be three channels for it. LinkedIn, YouTube, and newsletters. That's why I'm harping you guys on newsletters, right? But if you're prompting everything based upon your assumptions, and your assumptions compared to your intentions could be very wrong. So you have to let them know. You have to let the AI know exactly what you intend to do with this information. That's also very, very important. So now we have the final prompt. Once we actually have the final prompt, I'm going to let them know. Clock right now is currently on my other screen. I also want you to create a list of questions that would most likely arise based upon my background that you know so far. So what are some sample responses that you can go out there and create for me? Something else that I don't think people do enough of is also thinking what kind of like every product management interview question that you're going to be asked on the interview is going to be based upon objections that companies feel like you're going to not be a good fit, that somebody's going to be a better fit, that you're going to be a freaking problem. So let's just go ahead and get ahead of it. I have right now a product manager from a big tech company that, I won't name names, but like, said, I spent 1 year and I only shipped one feature. We shouldn't hope that the hiring team isn't going to ask us this question. We should actually anticipate that they're going to ask the question, and we should actually create a story to get ahead of it rather than just praying like they're not going to ask it, right? So with all of that information that we actually have, we're going to have a little cheat sheet down here. And there are going to be some questions about the experience gap, how seriously this guy's going to be taken. So we actually have an interview cheat sheet here. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to prompt in to Claude. I'm going to go ahead and do the following. I am blah 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 blah. This is actually the prompt that we now have from Gemini. We're moving it over to Claude right now because Claude is gonna give us a way better outcome. Gemini is good for prompts, Claude is good for outcomes, but Lovable is the gold standard in terms of prototyping. If you're talking about prototyping, like the UI on Lovable is the gold standard in terms of like you wanting to show something very visual, right? So we basically have all of this information here. And here's the funny thing. I'm going to walk you guys through two mistakes. This is why voice prompting is very important. This is a seriously well-structured ask. Let me go ahead and build all three projects. So we actually have all three projects here. We've got the concept right here. We got the PRD, we've got the demo, we got the stakeholders, we have the prompt that we can immediately add to Lovable, and then we have the script of how we're going to go ahead and set up this pitch on the actual interview. Sign up for the newsletter and definitely schedule a call because I think ultimately, like these skills here is moving so fast that our next cohort is starting on April 6th. I highly recommend everybody schedule a call with us to see if they're a good fit. We do have a few spots left. Don't miss out on it. Now, having said that, though, I'm going to say this. What did I miss from this entire prompt? I asked and I answer. I didn't add the freaking job description in here. Duh. So what it gave me was a PRD, a demo, and a prompt for a very generic role. And for a game company, this is actually a very good prompt. I mean, in terms of like the outcomes. But now that we're focusing right now on the actual compliance product manager role and we've added it in, okay, now this is an even better fit. Now we have all of these different instructions here. Now I'm getting some direct messages right now. Rich, how did you create this? Like within Claude? By scheduling a call and enrolling in the program to become a Claude Power user. Because I'm telling you, this thing is a freaking lightsaber and a Death Star all in one. But I will go ahead and get to that actually in a little bit. Concept, PRD, demo, stakeholders, prompt, script. Now, having said that, let's go ahead and let's actually take a look at the product requirements document, which is very, very, very spot on. The job description explicitly calls for translating complex regulatory requirements into concise, clear, and executable functional requirement. Today, that process is manual, slow, inconsistent. A compliance product manager reads 180 pages of regulation, synthesizes it by hand, writes the requirements in a vacuum, and then watches legal and product argue about the interpretation for 3 more weeks. Meanwhile, the compliance deadline is approaching. The company that can go from regulation text to product ticket in 48 hours instead of 8 weeks has a structural compliance advantage. Just show me off of the comments right now. Does anybody know what Roblox is and what Roblox does? Yes, no, no. Give me some kind of response. I don't know if you guys are swiping on Tinder or like you guys are actually still focusing on this thing. Okay. So, okay, no. All right. It's a great company to go out there and apply to. Yes, my nephew uses it. Parfait. Okay. Let's take a look at like what we're gonna do here. So if my man here, Taufik, wants to get a product manager job at Roblox, they're number one for a compliance role for this particular role, right? You know who's great for this role? A product manager with a legal background. Okay. A product manager with a legal background. And we've actually had a good number of lawyers actually enroll in our program and has transitioned from law, big law, into product management, right? And but they're very, very, very rare Pokemon. But you also have to be a little bit insightful to think of this. not everybody's going to go ahead and actually land that job with that background because they also have to think like, do you actually have what it takes to work with the stakeholders that's involved? Because you're going to be the sandwich between legal and engineering. This is big motherfucking assholes group number one, and these are big motherfucking assholes group number fucking two. Not fun people to be in Slack group chats with is engineering and legal. Meanwhile, here, okay, you also have like a compliance deadline that you have to go out there and meet. Whenever you're talking about gaming, it's got to be safe for kids. But you're walking like a really fine line between how do we continually offer this above average experience that our users are going to love, but all of a sudden, but all at the same time, keep on making it safe and making sure that it's in compliance. It's not easy, especially when you're talking about gaming, right? You got to go out there and find a lot of loopholes to kind of wiggle through. So we're going to have that. Now, what we're going to do here is we're actually going to go and actually create the actual demo. Now, the cool thing is this. Claude actually made a little bit of a demo for us. So when we're talking about gaming, I got CJ in the house. So of course we had to talk about there's four different areas: Korea, US, UK, and EU. It just so happens why? Because in the job description it listed out that these are the four major regions, but that also just means that these are the four areas that they have most of their customers, right? The other thing that we actually have to talk about here is enforcement transparency, age assurance. Yo, what happens when you have like my older brother's playing this game? I want to play on it. The only difference is my brother's 17, but I'm not, right? You have reporting mechanisms, you have content moderation, you have all this, but you have that. These are major areas of concern, but you also have these different regions that's involved in it. We got the stakeholders that's involved. Number one, hand it over to legal, then the trust and safety team, then the public policy team. Once we actually get it, it's actually really cool how they actually structured this whole thing out because I'll sum it up for you right now. They're like, get legal on board, trust and safety, and these guys on here first because the product managers don't give a shit and senior leadership really don't give a shit. Once we, trim off everything that we need to off the document here, then you show it to the engineering team, right? Because if you just go in there and you show the compliance document over to the engineering team, they're going to be like, oh, the, oh, so what do you want me to do? What do you want me to build? Like I can't do anything. I can't build it. So like they're the worst people to go out there and give the first thing to. So it's actually giving you a game plan when you're going into the interview about how you should approach the interview. And it's actually giving you a very structured game plan when you're going into the interview of um going into the interview like, okay, these are the challenges and how do we go out there and set up a game plan? Because like if you're the business owner, you're thinking to yourself, who am I gonna hire that's gonna go out there and knock this role out of the ballpark? Because the last thing we want to do is hire somebody that can't handle it, right? So I thought that was actually really fun. And then now we basically have the prompt that we can directly copy and paste into Lovable, and we have the prompt right here. And then we got a script, which is actually a very good script because I do a lot of YouTube, as you guys can see. So we took the prompt and then what we're going to do here is we're going to copy and we're going to paste it. And we added all of this information in. Okay. We added all this information in. And then from here, we could see we also have the same thing. We got EU, UK, US, Korea, California. We have all of these different guys right here. And then the next thing that we can go ahead and do is we can actually export it to Jira. So we're saving a lot. Like this is what we are trying to effectively get done here is this. We legally can only exist in this purview. That means our engineers and our product team has to build within these parameters. This is some of the area that we can actually kind of play with and stretch. Some of these areas here is a gigantic effing no-no. You cannot go there. With that said, okay, you still need to go ahead and get alignment because when you're working in like product compliance, there is a deadline when you have to like get everybody on board and submit. Now, once we actually have this, we're going to go ahead and export to Jira. So the next thing I did with Lovable is switch to agent mode, act as a lead compliance engineer. I want you to overhaul, export to Jira workflow into an agentic gatekeeper, analyze before exporting, and then you go out there and you validate. Once you actually go out there and export to Jira, you're good. Now, other things that you can actually go out there and do, which is actually part of Lovable Agents, I'm going to zoom in here. Can everybody see? Is verify the export flow end to end, so you can actually verify the flow. And then on top of that, you can test for validation and you can export the audit trail. Okay, so this in a gigantic sense. All right. What else do we have here? Well, we got 10 out of 40 articles mapped, but we still got 13 open gaps. There's a lot of stuff that we can do over here. But what we want to go ahead and do is come into the interview with something to show rather than having nothing to show. Okay. Now, like I mentioned before, the next Agentic Product Manager cohort is starting on Monday. Schedule a call if you are interested because we're getting ready to go out there and raise rates again. But as you can see, since the market is moving so fast, you got to basically lock in on these skills or you're going to get hurt. Are there any questions so far before I go ahead and just do like a quick demo where I'm going to go out there and just pick some random role? Going once, going twice. Any questions at all? Raise a hand. I'm not here for you guys. You can, I have a role. Come on. K? Where are you? Why am I not seeing you on this thing? Oh, there you go. I guess I was looking for the alphabetical order. If you raise your hand, you go all the way to the top or something. What is your question, Kay? Hello?
Are you in Gemini? Are you in Claude? Which one are you in right now?
I'm
I
in
mean,
all
you're talking about
three,
Jira, and then you go back to, so Lovable, and then so which one are you in?
all three.
Okay. Okay.
This is Gemini. So Gemini is for the prompting.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Gemini is for the prompting. Claude is for prompt outcomes. And then Lovable is for the prototype.
Claude is for what?
Claude is for the prompt outcome.
Okay.
And then Lovable is for the prototype.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you have here the prompt machine. And then you basically have here on Claude is you are now taking the prompt to go out there and actually just get more information that you actually want because Claude is more expensive than Gemini. So you don't want to do all your brainstorming in Gemini. You can actually get pretty far, but like popping in the same prompts, like the outcomes are just way better. So, yeah. And then like if you're talking about actually having something visually to show on an interview or just, to demo on the team for a meeting, Lovable is actually your best bet because the UI on Lovable is the gold standard in the industry. This is actually why Anthropic recently just signed a partnership deal with Figma to like create some of that.
Um,
Yeah. Okay. Did that answer the question?
for sure. Thanks.
Yeah, got you. Is Gemini better than ChatGPT for prompt toning? ChatGPT right now getting butchered. Like his team is leaving him up, down, left, right, and center. The only guy that's taking a bigger hit is Elon. All his founders from XAI freaking, they're like throwing literally on their Instagram, they're showing that they're doing unemployment parties right now. Like then, but granted, when you have like an 8-figure, 9-figure pay package, you can afford to not work for a few months. You know, um, but yeah, let me see here. CJ, you have a job description. You got a few actually. Hang on. So we have what? Metro Plus, Director of AI Transformation. And then we got dual entry. We got time for one. Which one do you want it to be? Dual entry. 3 years if we get more interested in them. Yep. Okay. All right. So let's actually get to it. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to copy the job description right here. And then I'm just going to add it into my Google Doc. You want to know why? It's because I just see everything better. So here's what we're going to go ahead and do, just live prompt. I want you to go ahead and help me create a prompt for a Claude. Okay. I'm applying to this product manager position with a company called Dual Entry for a senior product manager role. Here is a link to the job description, and I have also copied and pasted the entire job description for you to go ahead and review. And while it's working on that, give me
Okay.
a second. I've also copied the job description and pasted it for you to go ahead and review and analyze. What I need is to create 3 product manager side projects to impress to the hiring team that I am the best product manager for the role. I'm currently crafting this prompt for a student that is in my program. So I also want you to leave an area where they can enter in very specifically their LinkedIn profile as well as their resume because we don't want to go ahead and show all that information. I'm currently running a live stream right now. Let the machine know everything. Okay. Right. So in addition to that, I'm going to copy and paste the entire job description here. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and actually paste it right below. Okay. Now, CJ, when you go ahead and actually do it later for yourself, what you want to go ahead and do underneath add files is actually add your resume and then also go ahead and add in your LinkedIn profile. Cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep all of this onto the newsletter. So if you guys did not subscribe to the newsletter, please, please, please go ahead and do so, right? And in addition to that is let's take a look at like our other prompt right here. I also want you to go ahead and provide me with an interview cheat sheet for this role specifically as to how I should best navigate um, what are their biggest challenges in filling the role so I can position myself as a solution and a value add to all of the challenges that they have. Essentially, I want you to go ahead and analyze this job description to see what they are writing in between the lines that's not overtly being said. What I plan to do with this information next is I plan to create a series of prompts that I can refine within Google Gemini before I ultimately copy and paste the final prompt into Claude, after which I will enter into Lovable. On top of the prompt that you would help me create on Lovable to help me create a prototype, I also want you to provide me with at least 3 different agentic functions that I can prompt and initiate within Lovable agents. Don't forget to tell me anything that I am missing here because ultimately I just want to go ahead and flex some side projects so I can land this job. I'm going to copy all of this. I'm going to go into Gemini. I'm going to add all that information in here and I'm going to send it, right? Now you have a prompt. I'm applying. So let's take a look at what is our master prompt, right? This prompt is designed to turn your student or yourself into a bridge between legacy accounting and AI native ERP. I'm applying for the product manager role. Context is dual entry is disrupting the $220 billion ERP market. They value speed, hardcore work ethics, and ability to go out there and translate complex accounting workflows. And then let me go ahead and actually allow CJ to talk here. CJ, did you do anything with accounting? I think you did, right?
So not accounting the way people think,
Right.
because I started out in supply chain. There is an accounting about like physical products.
Got
So
it.
LIFO, FIFO, managing all that. The like $100 million worth of transactions, running the 7 warehouses I was responsible for, but not like a
Got it.
CPA, like reconciling, you know?
All good. Give me 1 second.
Cool.
Please also take into consideration that for this particular role, the student that I am helping right now, my product manager course, is a former United States Marine and also has a supply chain background and also an accounting background from supply chain, but it is not the traditional CPA background, right? So, and then we have when you prompt a lovable agent. Okay, so very important here is I will scroll down to like what is missing. Like, what's missing? The CPA language. If you are a CPA, you must use words like gap, compliance, da, 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 da. Your prototype doesn't show. So we're addressing that. The audit trail is a product. So what if the change isn't trackable? It
Hazmat.
doesn't happen, right?
The
Uh,
audit trail, I worked in hazmat. So like chain of custody, serialization, all of that. That is what I do. That's how I got into IIoT, the traceability part of my career.
got it. This person also has a hazmat background. So definitely they are very intimately familiar with traceability. Relocation or intensity. This person here also has a former hazmat background when they were in the military. So they definitely have an intimate understanding with traceability. Relocation is not of concern. The student that I am helping right now is actually physically based in New York City. Please take all of these considerations into account and let's update the master prompt from all of this additional feedback that I just provided you. Can you guys see right now if there's anything that you guys are going to go ahead and take away from this and give me some feedback that there is no freaking way in hell that if you are not voice prompting right now, that you have a shot at creating a better freaking outcome than me. And I'm not flexing that I'm just like great at AI. It's just that the amount of typing that you guys would actually have to do is just too much typing. To try to get it as specific, as specific, as specific as possible, you'd be leaving so much on the table. Um, so actually now we have all of this. Does this capture the mission ready energy you want to showcase on the stream? Yeah. Yeah. I think it does. Okay. All right. So now what we have to go ahead and do here is pretty simple. So we have I'm a former US blah 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 blah. Actually, hang on. This is a different student and not the Georgia Tech CS grad. So please remove that background from the prompt. right? Okay, so give me a second here. I got you on the newsletter. Yeah, it is virtually right now, I think impossible for you guys to do all of this without voice prompting. It's too much. I used to get so frustrated. I'm not even joking. I have a Theragun. I have a Theragun on my desk right now. I used to just go out there and freaking just massage blast my fingers. Um, it was too much. Okay, so okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and actually I'm gonna take all this right now. Okay, I'm gonna copy this right now. If anybody wants to inquire about the program, CJ actually did secure a product manager role in our program. CJ, I don't know if you got the most recent alumni email, but we are handing out a 10% referral fee for anybody that converts. So if anybody wants to hit up CJ right here, now would be the time. But I'm gonna go ahead now. I'm gonna prompt it. You see, I'm going to tell you guys some very basic level mistakes that a lot of people make when they're doing this. They do all their brainstorming on Claude, and then before they know it, their usage is over. Okay. Or worse, they do all their brainstorming on Lovable and then they cut, right? So you want to do addressing what Kay just said earlier, like why are you switching back between all of this? Is that Google, K, is a lot more forgiving in terms of they want you to use Gemini more because you're already on the Google suite. You're already on Gmail. A lot of people are already on Google search, and Google has a whole suite of products, right? Uh, Yes, I am on the pro version, but considering this is like I do this shit for a living, like I kind of have to. But yeah, I am on the pro version for all of them. But you don't actually have to be too. So I'm gonna take all of this right now. I'm gonna pop this thing on the very bottom, and like I'm just gonna add in right here. And I'm going to add this in now, right? And let's go ahead and actually see what Claude cooks up for us. Voice prompting, big takeaways for tonight while this thing is actually cooking right now is number one is voice prompting, voice prompt, voice prompt, voice prompt, voice prompt, and voice prompt. Number two, always ask the machine, what am I missing? What do you want and what are you missing? Okay. If you don't ask them what is it that you're missing, you might just be going down a freaking rabbit hole that you just have no business going down. So you need to always, what am I missing here? And you should actually prompt the prompt. In Google, there's actually something called Gemini, which I can't show you because we got way too much shit that we just can't show in here, is you can create custom Google Gems. I actually created, and it's kind of like an internal GPT. I actually created a prompt engineering gem where I'm crazy though. Like I actually refined the prompt 5 times for our own internal projects before I deploy it, right? And it takes all that already into consideration. So the next thing here is, so we got this. What? Show of hands. Has anybody seen the tag toggles like this before? Where you guys actually have this? Yeah. Right here. What do you guys think? Is that hot? Feedback, comments, anything? What do you guys think about that? You know? Yeah, that's how you guys want to do it. Okay, it's still cooking. Mission concept in the Marine Corps, every controlled item has a hot hand receipt chain, undocumented, da 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 da. It's actually very cool. Very, very, very cool stuff. Uh, yeah, yeah, champ. you're really not gonna learn AI by like trying to grab like I think tips here and there. Is like what we really show you guys actually is how to think with the machine. AI is actually your friend. It is your best friend. It is your ally. Okay. If you know how to, I mean, clearly right now, I'm being very sincere. I know sometimes my attitude kind of comes off as cocky. If this guy here found like a cure for cancer for his dog using ChatGPT, and this homie here saved himself from cancer. Like, it just really goes. Everybody right now is like, they're so focused on, like, oh, what tools should I go ahead and use? What are like the best platforms? Or like, how do I go out there and build dumb fucking NAN agent workflows? Da, 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 da. They just love seeing that shit spin. They don't even know what the fucking thing that's spinning towards, right? Honestly speaking, if you know how to fucking prompt, you're the baddest motherfucker right now. If you know how to prompt, you can take on anybody. And this just really comes with like something that we stress a lot in our AI class is this. You know what the first sentence of the book, The Art of War was? Know yourself. Second sentence is know your enemy. You have to be Mark Cuban always said, he's like the most important skill in business is self-awareness. If you know what it is that you want to know and you also know what it is that you don't know, and you're actually prompting this machine, you're gonna get some very killer results. If you just come in here like an amateur and you're just saying like, hey, go out there and build me, go out there and build me, um, go out there and just build me like freaking write me just like a landing page, right? Or like a PRD for this role that I'm interviewing for. Um yeah, it's just not as good. I actually, to give you guys like another example of this, is like I created, oh, wow, hang on. Well, I can't show you guys the link. So I'm gonna have to go out there and toggle that thing off. But we created today for our cybersecurity class. We also teach a growth marketing class here for people that want to go out there and break into growth marketing and growth strategy roles. Uh, the funnel that I built to go out there and drive cybersecurity enrollments to, we prompted up live 12 pages worth of info. 12 pages worth of info. And what ended happening was pretty insane. Pretty insane. Like insanely insane. I'm not even gonna go out there and lie. But I'll go out there. I can't find it because like I got like multiple tabs right now and I got like five monitors open. But we actually have this for like our HVAC class right now. We created all of these assets from about a 17-page prompt. And it has like email sequences, comparison charts between our program and every other program out there if you want to go out there and be HVAC. Oh yeah, if you guys got any like younger brothers that want to be or like family members that want to be in HVAC, let me know. But we prompted this entire bad boy up. I'm gonna get back to like I can't harp on this enough. Voice prompting is the only way that you can go ahead and achieve that. Yeah, voice prompting. Like, there's just simply no other way that you can get more information. So we now have all the information that we need in Claude. Let's go ahead and deploy Lovable. So for starters here, before I go ahead and actually do this, Lovable also takes time. So I'm just going to go out there, copy Lovable. I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to my dashboard right now. And the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to fire this guy off. Done. Boom. So let's actually go ahead and review this mission concept. Why a Marine built it. Okay, so we have all this information here. We got a Marine grade PRD. We have a mission statement, rules of engagement. Pretty cool. I might go ahead and move away from that and just stick with a regular PRD. What are some of the agentic functions that we can go out there and add in here? Uh, Anybody that's ever been in import export knows this. This bill of lading verifier is very important. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like I grew up in, the Chinese clothing business. I can tell you, like I spent many
Oh
weekends
man.
it manually. Uh,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's the unresolved childhood trauma that we talk about with
My
our
MOS was still pen and paper when I joined, and we went through a transformation. That's how I got to be a super user and got
right.
into all this stuff. It sucks so bad.
Oh gosh, dude. Period, close readiness checker. Yeah, bill of lading I think is going to be huge. But let's just actually go back to our prompt here and let's just see chain watch. I really like that. It's actually building. And if you guys ever run out of like Lovable credits, like you guys can always just go ahead and create one in Google AI Studio. That's largely like free too, right? You guys can also go ahead and do that. If I was to go ahead and do like Google AI Studio, so has everybody here heard of Google AI Studio? Google AI Studio, basically, give me a second, is Google's version of Lovable. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this bad boy in here. And I'm just gonna type in the same prompt and I'm gonna go out there and click build. So you can go out there and just kind of compare it, right? And let it cook. This is freaking amazing. S- CJ, what's your feedback on this so far? You enjoying yourself?
No, I think this is pretty dope. This is actually why I went after the role I have doing some graph rag stuff. I've been looking into like agents and stuff since last year. This is going to be a big deal. There's a lot of like port transformation. The hazmat is like relatively untouched and very like not joined. So I think this is all pretty consistent.
100%.
And then ERPs do suck. Like every transformation I've ever been in, the like biggest breaking point is SAP or whatever they're using. They're just so out of date for the problems organizations are facing right now and how you have to actually track and manage them.
I mean, when you're spending $12.5 million dollars on ribeyes and lobsters, at the Pentagon. Whoa. Holy shit.
That's fire.
Is that fire or what? That's fire, right? Yeah.
No, this is really cool. Trying to do this crap in Excel sucked. This is really cool.
I'm about to shoot it out. So yeah. Like what's really cool is actually being able to do it like live and like front of somebody's face, you know?
Yeah,
So like I'm gonna take all of this right now
this
and
is dope. From PO to like movement, this is
right,
it.
right. So like let's talk about like some agentic functions. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and we don't have time to do all three, but let's just say like this second agent right here. So this is actually what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this right here, right now, and I'm gonna pop it back. Fucking I got 5 monitors going on live right now. Okay, and I'm gonna say this. Well, I'm not gonna just do that. This is a screenshot of the prototype that we were able to build on Lovable based upon the prompt you provided us. Come on, Jen Spark, don't let me down now. Um, how do I activate the agentic function for the bill of lading verifier? Is it already available and functioning and I'm just don't know how to use it, or is there a prompt that we have to initiate? Anybody else got any feedback, or y'all just like hanging? Give me a second here. What are the next steps so I can actually demo the bill of lading verifier? Let's do this. Okay. Let's do this. Kurt, are you enrolled in the Agentic Product Management curriculum yet? I mean, cohort yet? We're kicking off next week. Let me see here. And I also want to go ahead and say, because I totally forgot, we also have, while this thing is cooking right now, I just want to go ahead and let everybody know. Next week, we have replacing an entire marketing team with Claude Cowork. Okay. Uh, so please come through if you guys are looking to cook your marketing team, because that's exactly where this business is going. And you see here that like, yeah, you see the value of your job right now is going to largely be based upon um how well you prompt and like the experienced product managers will be very impressed by like, whoa, this isn't just some bullshit that's coming. Like you're just not gonna type fast enough. Um, so like the more information that you're gonna get it, the better results that you're actually gonna have, right? When I actually do this, like we had another person just get a product manager offer today. I'm about to post it up, but 265K for a product manager role at a company. They are building software to help startups get funding faster and to identify the best investors, right? Great space to go out there and be right now because capital is being deployed like crazy. Uh, that gentleman literally texted me about 3 hours ago and said, I landed this job because of the of what I was showing them that I could do with Claude, and they were just like, whoa, we have never seen anybody use Claude like this before, like going from Gemini to Claude to Lovable, activating the agent. And then, like, starting from next week, you guys are going to see a lot of shit with Cowork. Cowork right now, Anthropic right now is the reigning champ, and I just don't think they're going to give up the seat because they're just that damn good. They have already, there's Claude Code, which we'll be covering in a future session. And you also have something called Claude Dispatch right now that's on your phone. Effectively, right now, I could do this right now from my phone. And that means like my lovable prompt right now is still going. It's still cooking, you know? It's still cooking, right? So like it just goes to show like, but we want to go out there and we want to make sure that CJ here is gonna go ahead and get that dual entry job, you know. So give me a quick sec. Any questions here for me or the program while we go ahead and wait? Any questions at all? Any questions at all? Give me a second here. Or maybe there is some in the Q&A button. No? Yeah, okay.
Okay, another question. So I do pay for ChatGPT. Question to you. Should I change that to Claude or Gemini? Which one? I know it's not your role, but in the same.
Um, you should change it over to Claude.
Okay, great.
Yeah, yeah. Like, honestly speaking, like if you're talking about a brainstorm, if you're talking about a brainstorm, uh, give me a second here. Like, yeah, if you're talking about a brainstorming, like shit, like, hang on, it's a sensitive topic. Google's AI strategy is largely like, if you notice what Google has done is to try to keep people like keep their platform relevant. So with what Google has done is create a lot of different types of AI products. So they have like Notebook LM, they have like Google AI Studio, they have like Google Flow, Google Opal is going to be their agent. They have a whole Google AI stack. Anthropic is um they essentially right now only have like three products, right? So give me a second here. This is the lovable prompt. We are going to go ahead and actually take this right now. And we're just going to grab this. And I'm just going to add it in here. And we're going to go. Woo! This just got done. So not that far off. I'm amazed by this. This is actually pretty decent. It's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, this is awesome. We got to chat.
Holy moly. This is actually pretty decent. Holy. Okay. This is actually pretty, like, it doesn't look, it actually doesn't look that far off, actually. But yeah, this is actually the last thing that we're going to do today, which is the bill of lading verifier. Um, any other questions for me so far? Because once we actually have this demo out, we're going to call it a night. Any questions about the market?
Um, you've been talking a lot about this kind of product management, but like, what are you seeing or thinking about from like a VC or PE perspective?
For in terms of what?
I don't know what specifically, but as I think about like the trajectory of things and some of the interviews I have had, there are more like companies taking like a holding or portfolio company approach and either acquiring and merging or transforming and merging along the way. And so like I'm thinking about the layer between like where the investment comes from, who they decide they're gonna buy, and like some kind of repeatable layer to move them through whatever the transformation is gonna be. I want to know who's like in that space or thinking about it in this way and where that's at.
Got it. Got it. I mean, like, I think right now, I mean, the value proposition that most product managers have let's actually I got implemented built in. Okay, so where is the bill of lading? So I'm taking a look at this whole thing right here. Are you guys seeing it anywhere? Where's the bill of lading? Hang on. Let's go out there and actually play with this guy. Uh,
No, but click escalate, see what happens. Oh, right there, upload BOL on the side. It's gray.
where?
Agent 2 BOL on the right side of the screen. Like in that column that says AI agents, go down. Yeah, click that. Does something happen? Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Escalate
Yeah, because that's
override.
OS&D. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you can go out there and add the bill or use the sample bill of lading, right? Oh shit. GG. Man, I wish I had that when I was a kid. All right. So like, yeah, give me a second here. Uh, that was it for
Actually
tonight.
pretty pumped about GS1 next year. I'm thinking about going to the conference in June. Because barcodes are about to change, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about that.
Uh, Anybody have any other questions? No other questions? Everybody's good? Power users? Going once, going twice? Okay, let's go ahead and actually recap this for the night. So, first things first is, okay, you want to go ahead and what's the first major takeaway of the night? Voice prompting, get on GenSpark. Please use the code that I provided for y'all. It's the best code that's out there because it's my referral code. Okay. And then number two is you want to go ahead and prompt all of this right here onto this Google Doc, right? You want to get all that information in here. Second thing here is Google Gemini is for what? Brainstorming. Okay, you brainstorm on Google Gemini, but what are you going to go ahead and do? Claude is for what? Claude is for outcomes, and then you also want to go ahead and actually have Lovable up, so you can go out there and do the prototyping. And then you can go out there and initiate the agent function that way. Okay. I'm going to go out there and add a bonus tip too. The bonus tip is if you have not scheduled a consultation yet for our upcoming agentic product manager cohort, you need to do so. But I'm going to give you another bonus tip on top of that. And the other bonus tip on top of that is I'm going to go out there and actually take a screenshot here. So I'm gonna go out there and ask it one more thing before we go ahead and call it a night. And I am gonna go ahead and go for a swim in the apartment gym, which blissfully we actually have. And the craziest thing is they've been playing that new BTS song Swim nonstop at the gym. Okay. So I was able to go ahead and actually get the bill of lading verifier on Lovable Agent. But let's go ahead and do one more thing, right? But in your opinion, what lovable agent do you believe would really impress the interviewer, okay, to identify me as the best product manager for the role? Please provide me with the prompt that I can plug, paste directly back into Lovable. You want to know what's another reason why you want to go ahead and do voice prompting? It's because like when you're working as much as I am, like you can voice prompt now, like I'm just like talking shit, right? Like I'm not looking at the screen because you also want to go out there and make sure that you're protecting your eyes, you're protecting your fingers. people seem to be more overworked than ever these days, fam. So you gotta like, these are little things that you can go out there and do to kind of help yourself out. Okay, so now we have the lovable prompt here. So if you guys have scheduled a call, if you guys haven't already, especially if you're interested in joining the upcoming agentic product management cohort. If not, please don't schedule the call. Um, but other than that, be on the newsletter and make sure that you check the junk folder. Make sure that you guys check the junk folder because like I have all this information right here and then some. But I can't get it over to you like I mean, well, the only way I can basically get it over to you is through a newsletter. Like there's just so much shit here, right? So like yeah. But having said that, this is a lot of freaking information. Look at how long this freaking prompt is. I'm not going to go ahead and prompt it, but add anomaly war room mode to existing chain of custody auditor dashboard. Okay, now let's just say we want to go out there and do, well, I feel like I'm on fire tonight, like an extra bonus prompt, right? Um, I need your help to help me set up these conversations on the interview. The prototypes on Lovable look amazing. The Lovable agents seem to also be working. But how do I connect the dots between who it is that they are trying to hire that is the best uh, fit for the product manager role that they have open, my background, along with the side project that I am providing as a live demo on the interview to highlight that I'm a good fit for the role and a value add, right? Because that's cool, right? For example, I want to go ahead and show that like why is the bill of lading verifier valuable? How does this help out? I need to understand this context because number one, I don't know, and let's just assume I don't, right? But bill of lading, like, why is it important to the business? How does this help the business, right? So we want to actually address that because it's like, oh, you build all this cool shit. What the fuck does this like actually mean? Like, how does this actually help anybody out, right? We actually want to have that conversation. How does that actually help the business? Help me create these speaking points in both a combination of summary and bullet points so I can take action on it on an actual interview and also help me prep for my upcoming interview with this company. Now, considering CJ here hasn't even locked down the interview yet, right? I can also go ahead and ask the machine this. I have not secured the product manager interview with this company, dual entry. Can you also help me craft up maybe a short LinkedIn message that I can use to contact the hiring manager directly to convince them to give me a product manager interview? So why am I actually giving them this much context? Because what are the next problems that you have? Like this prompt right here doesn't do shit for you right now, right? You want to get an interview and you want to take that interview and you want to convert that thing into an offer. So we're also going to go ahead and factor that into the prompt. Oh, and of course, you also have to go out there and check the prompt because I said dual entry and it came up with Dolex. Which is not the freaking company that we're going after, right? So, duh. So we actually go back over here and we're going to take this and we're going to take this and we're going to grab that and we're going to prompt it in here. And I'm going to say, yes, I can paste it in. Why the bill of lading verifier matters to this business, the education piece, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and add that information in. And it's like, good, let's paste the job description. I'm pasting the job description link as well as copy and pasting the job description directly into the chat. So like now we basically have all the information that we basically need to go ham on this. You know, this is how you're gonna save yourself. You know, prompting, 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 and prompting. Uh, but where's my new friend here, Kay? You see,
Yes.
if you were using this, like if you didn't have the pro version like myself, you would blow all of this, like you would just basically blow up your usage, right?
Mhm, for sure.
100%. So you have a big decision to make. Invest the $20 a month,
Yeah. Change from chat. Okay.
which you also, I'll tell you guys how to go out there and do it on a budget. You, what you want to go ahead and do is you want to keep on screenshotting the results from Claude and adding that into Gemini. So Gemini
Oh,
basically is able to see what it is that you're seeing. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Build it
So,
on Claude, transfer it to Gemini. Don't use chat. And most importantly, download the Speak.
I mean, yeah, use chat, but like ChatGPT, one of the ways that they saved their ass recently was they decided to unload ads onto the platform. And unfortunately, once you actually unload ads onto the platform, your platform search results get skewed, right?
For sure.
Because they're trying to direct you guys. I asked you guys to book a call like 8 times to go out there and enroll, right? But that's being done at like a massive industrial scale now. So it's a short-term play for revenue. I think in the long term, people are going to see that the results are going to dwindle. Does it mean that the search results have immediate impact? No, no. But having said that, though, there are ways where it always gets back to prompt engineering, right? If you actually ask ChatGPT, I want you to provide me with the most objective feedback, shy of any ads that are being sponsored on this platform, it will do that. So, like, I think everybody here is old enough to remember the cartoon Aladdin. If you ask the genie the right questions, you technically speaking have Aladdin has more than has more than three wishes, you know? So, purchase order created in the ERP, bill of lading. Okay, carrier freight looks good. Okay, so the problem for the customers having the three match. Today, an AP clerk at a 10 to $500 million company, dual entries target market, receives a bill of lading as a PDF or a paper document. They manually read the quantities, the SKU descriptions and vendor names, then cross-reference against OpenPO in their legacy ERP, which may be a SAP, QuickBooks, or a spreadsheet. If anything mismatches, they email the vendor, wait, follow up, escalate. This process takes up to 4 to 6 hours per complex bill of lading. For a company processing 200 shipments a month, that is 800 to 1,200 hours of AP clerk time spent on the document verification task. It's very true. So that is all the info that I basically have tonight for y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and retire for the evening. Please reach out to me on LinkedIn if you guys have any direct questions to me. But thank you guys so much for actually coming. Next week is Cloud Cowork, fam. Let's go ahead and make your marketing team obsolete. Yeah? I'm just kidding. Actually, no, I'm not. See you guys. Have a great night. It's nice out. Okay. Oh, thank you, Pilar. Appreciate it. Thank you, Rochelle. Appreciate it.